Hey everybody, how y'all doing? It's Steve coming at you. Hope you're having a great day. Well, today is September 11th, 2020. For those of you who may be too young to know, that means that about 19 years ago in the U.S., we had a terrorist attack in New York. And the Twin Towers, which used to stand tall in New York, one of the great wonders, in fact, of our country, the Twin Towers, like in South Dakota, the Mount Rushmore, lots of different sites like that, around the country that people wanted to go see. The Twin Towers in New York were incredible, tallest buildings in the one of the tallest buildings in the world, in fact, at that time. And they were taken out and destroyed by terrorists. Life changed for us significantly because of that. And I was thinking about that earlier today, and I was thinking about, man, 2001, what was I doing? I remember still exactly what I was doing and what was going on when that happened. It kind of reminds me, it's funny, you always hear like people say, like I remember my mom saying she can remember when JFK was shot. And I always wondered what that would be like to just kind of remember exactly from an incident that carried so much weight, and for my generation specifically, us Gen Xers and some of the Gen Y, it was 9/11. I remember it very, very distinctly. I can tell you for a fact where I was. I used to be a mailman in Tucson, Arizona, and every morning I would get up. I was married, had 4 little kids, and every morning I would get up, and to not wake the family up, I went out in the living room to get dressed and grab something to eat from the kitchen really quickly on my way to work. Usually just kind of get dressed and maybe grab some coffee. And every morning I turned the television set on and I kept it on low again to cut down on noise and that sort of thing. And this was my routine every morning. Get your clothes, go in the living room, turn on the TV set, and usually I turn it on news, and usually it was, believe it or not, it was Fox News. Kind of like the first thing I catch during the day, what's happening, what happened overnight, anything going on. And usually there was never anything, it was mainly just background noise, is all it was. And so this one morning, I'm super tired, I'm getting up early. I decided, you know what, there's never anything on. I'm not going to even bother to turn the TV set on, just to keep the house quiet. I'm going to quietly get dressed and get out of here and go to work. And got in my car, started driving to work, turned the radio on, and before I got to the end of the street, on my street, I had heard that the towers had been hit. Not just one tower, but both towers have been hit. Crazy. Immediately, and back then cell phones, back when we had cell phones, they were not nearly as advanced as they are now. It was fairly new tech type stuff, and you used to have minutes on your cell phone. I don't know if you guys will remember when we had minutes on our cell phone. You can only use so many minutes, and if you ran over minutes, you had to make sure you called at certain times to not drive your minutes up. It was crazy. But at any rate, I called my wife at the time and said, oh my gosh, turn on the TV set, what's going on? And stayed on the phone with her until I got to work. And I can remember just how weird that whole day was, and how strange, and just the tension in the air was ridiculous. And even at my job, which we never had TV sets at the post office, inside the area where we're doing our work, all the mail carriers, the letter carriers, we call them, are putting their mail up. They set up a television set for us, and we saw the replays of the planes hitting the towers. And I can just remember being so pissed off that whole day, to where I was literally trying to think of ways for me to get back into the military, because I used to be in the Air Force. I left the Air Force to become a postman, and I was thinking of ways to get back into the military. At that point, I was older and had small children, and so my then wife kind of talked me out of it, but I really was pissed. It was an incredible day from the standpoint of just the terror and the horror, and then watching the buildings collapse and come down, and people running for their lives, and then the dust and the dirt and the smoke and people. It was literally like something out of a sci-fi movie, It was unbelievable. And I remember just kind of the tension in the air. As a matter of fact, as I'm doing this video, I'm looking right now over at a car repair place, and they have a huge American flag at half staff. It's really cool to see. So they didn't forget. But 19 years later, it's still an important day because it really did change our country. There became a new normal. So before 9/11, you could go all the way up through almost to the gate and say goodbye to family members, and then they go about their merry way. You could carry family members' luggage, help them carry their luggage in, get their luggage taken care of, and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's changed dramatically. Airlines flying at that point and seeing submachine guns, guys with submachine guns at the airport. It was crazy. I mean, this was after we were allowed to fly, because initially when that all happened, flights stopped for a while. And I know somebody who was in New York at the time, and I never forget the story, who was saying it was crazy. The thing about New York is there's always some noise going on, because there's always something happening in New York, and being in Manhattan and staying in the hotel in Manhattan. And then the one thing that she realized is how quiet New York was, how quiet it was outside. And she had trouble sleeping because of how quiet it was, except for an occasional, Air Force jet or Navy jet that flew overhead to kind of protect the city. It was crazy. And then, of course, Washington, D.C. got attacked as well, and the Pentagon got hit. And it was a crazy, crazy day, and it completely changed our normal at that time. But in a good way in this respect, because at that time, police officers and firefighters and the first responders were heroes. I mean, absolute heroes. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere without thanking a police officer, thanking a firefighter, or a first responder of some type for their service, for what they were doing. Because those guys, when everybody was running out of the towers, when they were burning, they ran in New York. They ran into the towers to help people. And many of them died when those towers fell. And so I was just thinking about how much things have changed in 19 years. We went from loving the police and considering them true heroes to ACAB, ACAB, which stands for All Cops Are Bastards. And a lot of this comes from the left, of course. It comes from these kids these millennials who, back then, they were what, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. They don't know. They don't remember anything, most of them, about 9/11. Don't remember any. I mean, for me, I was a very, very little, toddler, practically, when Martin Luther King was killed. I don't remember anything about it. And part of the reason why is because back then, adults shielded kids from really bad news. And so I don't remember anything about it. I just know that it happened in my lifetime. But I still have a lot of respect for what took place, and I have a lot of reverence for what he did. A lot of kids today, these college kids, especially in the Marxist universities where they're training brand new little Marxists, that's why they're running around acting the way they're acting, because they don't have any more respect for what took place. They don't know. They weren't a part of it, so it's not personal to them. But for those of you who do remember, or for those of you who at least know enough about it to have some reverence for it, do what I did today. I saw about 4 or 5 police officers today doing some business I had to take care of, and for every one of them I stopped and said, thank you for your service. I want you to know you have some people who still have your back. And each one of them appreciated it. And we got to remember, these are guys who would do stuff most of us wouldn't do. Most of us would not have run into those towers. Most of us would not have risked our lives to save people we don't even know. And they did. And so it's really important that we need to remember that and hold on to it. So with that being said, last night I tried to enjoy the game. The first game of the season, I'm so happy football is back. I really am. And I think Patrick Mahomes, that kid, he's got the it factor. He is going to be the face of the NFL, if not now, soon. I know he's still got Tom Brady. Tom Brady's still kind of an icon. But Pat Mahomes, he's likely to be the new face of the NFL. But I'm telling you what, it's not as woke as the NBA has gotten. But man, they were making it hard to watch. They were making it hard to watch. Because I just want to watch a game. Most people just want to watch a game. I don't care about your politics. I don't care that you soft, handshake, soy latte drinking, pampered, multimillionaire athletes think this country is suffering and is so bad, and people, you have zero idea about real racism. Zero idea about real racism. And for us to be doing this whole pampered deal, it was so annoying. And even though it wasn't as obvious as the NBA, it was still annoying because they still did the whole black national anthem. There is no black national anthem. Stop playing that crap. That is not the black national anthem. There's one national anthem. There's not one for just black folks. But anyway, they played the black national anthem. Of course, Kansas City Chiefs stood for that. They played the real national anthem, and everybody except one guy, Okafor, Neil. These are pampered, punk-ass athletes. Everyone except that one guy stood, which was cool. The Houston Texans didn't even come out of the locker room. They didn't come out to stand for either of the anthems because I think they were afraid that some people were going to stand for the quote-unquote black national anthem, and then they're going to end up kneeling for the and it was just a little bit of bad look. The ratings I just heard were already 16-17% lower for the opening this year than they were last year, and most people are freaking at home. That should tell you everything you want to know. So the NFL, they planning to do this thing for the entire first week and then drop it. I would just say, stop this mess. Don't do this for every game this week. Because in order for me to enjoy the game, knowing that this was coming, I had to start the game, pause it, like right when they were wrapping up the pregame, pause it, and then wait for about 30, 40 minutes, just so I could fast forward through most of the bull. I just didn't want to watch all that crap. I just want to watch a game and enjoy the game. I know there's stuff going on in the real world. I know there's a bunch of spoiled brat pampered people running around all over the country screaming, Black Lives Matter, and they have zero idea what they're talking about. I get it. I just want to watch the game. Can some of us just have that? And today, I just wanted to make sure for those of you who are maybe too young or just don't remember, there was a time when cops and firefighters, but especially since cops seem to be the main focus, were very well respected in this country because they put their lives on the line, and many died. Many died trying to protect and save other people who were in those towers. And so when you're looking at the night sky or the skyline tonight in New York, supposedly they're supposed to shine the two lights to symbolize where the towers were. But you never know what that Marxist mayor they got up there, that big stupid commie Deluzio up there. They're supposed to light it tonight. Remember, it's not just about the towers, it's about the people and what they sacrificed for people they didn't even know. And let's get rid of this ACAB stuff, man. These kids don't know what the hell they're talking about, don't know what the hell they're doing. Show some respect. Today's a very important day. If you can't do it any other day, at least do it today. And with that, guys, that's my video. I hope you guys, if you agree with me, great. Tell me why. Tell me your thoughts on how you feel about 9/11 and today. And if you can remember where you were, if you were around during that time, I'd love to hear that as well. And for those of you like, Steve, you don't understand, things have changed and the cops are worse and blah, 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 whatever. If you have a negative assessment of anything I said, cool. I want to hear that too. I want to see that. Please leave that comment as well. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. Especially share the video. I get the feeling that YouTube, for up-and-comers, are finding ways to not help our information get out there. So the more you can share it, the better off my channel will be. I would truly appreciate that. Even share with people who you don't think are going to like it, just to see what kind of response you get from them. I like to do that on occasion myself. So I love to hear them as well. You never know. They might end up listening and deciding they like some of the stuff I say. Or they might listen. They might hate listen. I'm cool with that too. Whatever it takes. I love to hear from you all. And with that, guys, I hope y'all have a great day. Have a fantastic September 11th. Never forget, thank an officer. And have a great day. Take care.